Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
A land of gold sunsets and skies so blue, mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme.
I see the microphone is working after all.
Sing louder than the shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies, they weave their weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know it all.
Is the people above it all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again. It is after midnight. Hey, look, I didn't pick that time. That's what YouTube sets it as. I just have to be careful, make sure it actually shows up at the right time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Neanderthals, canines, and right-wing podcasters, wherever you find yourself around the world tonight. Welcome back to the program live from the Western Cape in South Africa, outside the mother city, inside the mother city, somewhere nestled in the mother city of Cape Town. It's the Colonel live from South Africa. How you doing this evening, folks? Welcome back to the program. I had a long conversation earlier at the Reformation Society over in Rondebosch. Some of you caught that. I had a pretty big audience for that. I just thought I'd come here. I'm not really sure what the issue is here. Michelin star diner. I don't know what it is you're looking for. You made a comment, all these videos and no updates on the refugee program. What's there to talk about? Well, Star Michelin star diner, thank you for your subscription. Thank you for being here. Thanks for contributing. But this isn't the refugee channel. This is my channel where we share the truth and the news and views and opinions and analysis of events in South Africa, across Africa, and around the world. And so that's what it's about. I do report on the refugee program as best I can. So anyway. All right. So listen, speaking of Lekkerud, I've been threatened again today. I've been threatened several times today by an aggrieved party. And it's unfortunate that people feel the need to threaten me. I've also been called malicious today. That's a first. I find it fascinating someone would call me malicious. I'm generous and kind to a fault to people. The only people I'm malicious towards are hate-wanking trolls who come in and disrupt the conversation and ruin my viewers' experience. But I don't treat anybody poorly, and I don't treat anybody unfairly. So it was a bit disconcerting, but odd to hear that, being called malicious. I'm not malicious. I've not done anything malicious to anyone. And so the person saying that is really off base, and they're barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, it is shocking. It is shocking. But I was called malicious today. To each their own. I've treated people fairly. Also, the person that addressed me didn't bother addressing me by my title. So, yes, Loretta, why would people do that? Well, that's how the world is. Some people don't like what you have to say. Some people don't like the truth. Some people don't like how things are reported. So, anyway, Thomas Lombard, Dylan Combrick, Garrett Gillage, Mays, Johan Barkhuizen. What else you got there? Mark Smith is here. Beds are burning. That sounds like Midnight Oil. Yeah, that's a great song, man. Any mods here? I don't know. Marinda Duplessis, welcome to you. While it's quiet, please join me in. Oh, you're in spam redacted. Okay. So here it is. Michelin's so amused by the relentless podcast and streams notifications every 5 minutes. Well, I'm glad you get notifications every 5 minutes because I don't stream every 5 minutes. It's interesting you're getting it every 5 minutes, and a lot of people don't get notifications. So I guess you're getting all the notifications. But thank you for sharing that. Hendo's here. There's a mod right there. Feng Wan is back. Ha ha ha. How you doing there, Lindy Don Hauser? Annie, good evening to you. Derek Duploy. Who else we got here? Chugsy, welcome to you. Yeah, someone said today that Ramaphosa talked to President Trump. I had a phone call. I didn't see any confirmation of that. But I'm editing a video here, which I'll put up after the stream. I didn't want to keep you all waiting too long because I've just gotten back from my public lecture not that long ago. Had a phone call with a couple of people in South Africa this evening and touched base with them about a few things. Anyway, so I just finished that and set the stream up. I was editing the video, but it's a congratulatory video for the Democratic Alliance who stepped up to the plate and apparently got it done. Saw the video from federal chair, Helen Zille, earlier, talking about how Enoch Gondwana and his legal team have backed down from the VAT hike that they put in place. So congratulations. It does appear by all accounts that the Democratic Alliance can take a credit for this and take a victory lap for a job well done. We rubbish people when they do poorly, but when they do well, we got to give them credit here. Strangely enough, Action SA has also tried to take credit, but I'm not really sure how they take credit. Aretha Swart, hello to you. JP Wills. And, oh my gosh, Ego. Wow, okay, well, you're gone. You're gone. Wow, oh my gosh, what an ass. I've seen it to some crowd who could not. What? What? I do not understand you, and I do me well. Okay, Dirk, thank you for that. It's an article by Solomon at MSN saying U.S. took 30 refugees from Pretoria interviews. Probably just misinformation. It's okay. Look, Fung Wan, I don't know the story for that. I do know that the preliminary interviews, it was a lot more than 30. A lot more than 30. Even the New York Times admitted there were over 100 interviews. If New York Times, who claims to have a source inside the State Department, Pierre Rousseau, just remember Colonel Doug is, yeah, well, we're talking about people who are rich and powerful that making these comments. Harold Mangus, welcome to you. And then still working. R1, you're still working this hour. Wow. Hank, welcome. Okay, and yeah, he posted it. Someone said that it was on his thing. Hope you're well. We really appreciate your time and efforts. Well, thank you, CJ and Maggie Fundevalt. I certainly give it my best effort. People like that have illness called Klein and Meinicke syndrome. I think that might be true. Anyway, calling for the Colonel malicious like blaming a mirror for showing you the truth. Ooh, relaxing positive energy. That is brilliant. I'm going to save that and quote you. That is brilliant. And that's exactly what I think the case is here. I've simply stated something that's true and someone took exception to it. And that's just the way it is. So, but I like what you said there. That's absolutely brilliant. Where the heck is my notepad? MNO. And ends back this way. Okay, dummy, learn the alphabet. I need to learn the alphabet at the tender age of 59 again. Yes. All right. So there we go. Calling me malicious. I'm still chuckling. I'm not chuckling. I find it disturbing that somebody would believe that and make such a claim. Yeah. So relaxing positive energy says calling the Colonel malicious is like blaming a mirror for showing you the truth. You just don't like what you see. Oh, ouch. How true that is. All right. VAT hike was a smokescreen, says Garrett. I wonder. And James enjoyed the public lecture. I didn't get to hear it myself. Sandra Hanekom, welcome. How you doing, Sandra? You didn't answer my question whether you wrote another book or not. Barking up the wrong tree got me in trouble with a former colleague. He accused me of racism by referring to him as a dog. How is that racism? That's caninism. That's not racism. I saw that remark. Very nasty. Retha, no, the remark I'm talking about was sent to me privately, so there must be something else nasty about me out there. In the Zelensky interview, Ramaphosa said he spoke to Trump. Okay, I didn't see that. I was out running around doing things. I had appointments this morning, and then I met with another appointment this afternoon at 3:00. So I had let's see, what time was the first one? The first one was at what time was the first one? Gosh, I'm losing track now. I'm losing my mind here. My mind's going blank. Isn't that what Joe Biden used to say? My mind's going blank. When was my first appointment this morning? Oh, I was interviewed. I was interviewed this morning by Phumlani Majosi. That's right. Phumlani Majosi interviewed me at 10:30. When that interview was over, then I had at 12:30. And through the 12:30, I had at 3:00. And after 3:00, I had this presentation this evening at the Rondebosch. So just getting back. Rich and poor do grass in this illustrious country. Okay. Fakili tweeted that it's all due to the hard work of the ANC. Exactly. The ANC is trying to take a victory lap. It looks like the DA is the ones who are responsible. Look, I'll give the DA credit when it does great things. Remember, I'm the one that encouraged you all to vote for the DA several years ago before they lost the plot, I don't know what happened to the DA, but, if they do something good, they should get credit for it. Absolutely. Tim Bellani made you a decent coffee on the 6th floor there in Greenpoint this afternoon. I wasn't on any sixth floor, Wade, and I don't know who Timbalani is, and I didn't have coffee in Greenpoint this afternoon, but thank you for sharing that. You do have the location. I was in Greenpoint this afternoon, but the rest of that, none of that's true. Malicious, the colonel is so by the book, even his enemies get a debriefing before he shuts him down. One hectic day. Oh, yeah, Loretta, it's like that all the time, though. That was the Reformation Society, correct, R1. That was at the Reformation Society. In fact, like I said, I haven't seen it. Let me take a look. We had 3,000 people tune in for it. That was pretty awesome, given it was very short notice. Let me take a look. I didn't get a chance to hear how the sound was, so let me just quickly pull that up and see how it sounds. It was 2 hours, so just a second here. Let me pop this up and see how it sounds, because, again, I didn't get to listen to it. I bet it'll probably play an ad, though. We're going to get an advert here. Let me see.
The water, I just drop it on you. That's the unique thing about America. And it's always been a land of opportunity for everybody. Look at the groups that have come to America over the centuries. All of them succeeded
Okay, looks pretty
at one
good.
point or another. They turned around and landed, and on top of that, they for them to limit the number of Cadillacs we can sell there.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm happy with that. The sound could have been a little bit better, but it's that room is in an attic, and it's got bad sound, bad audio. So I mean, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, you guys like the sound. Well, that's because I have an incredible phone. It's just absolutely brilliant. Wade says, "Oh, my bad. I used to work in the building that you recorded your video from." Aha! Well, you were correct in where I was at, Wade. You were correct in what I was doing. And the only thing is there was no one there to serve me coffee. It would have been nice. I could have used a cappuccino, but hey, Wade, it's okay. Yeah, and it's a great spot. I mean, where I was at today. So, I was trying to record, and someone offered that space in that building upstairs for me. By the way, that building on the ground floor, there's a Vespa dealer, and 3 people in the Vespa shop recognize me. We're up to 45, by the way, folks, people recognizing me. I haven't even left the Western Cape, barely here a week, and 45 different people have approached me. LaRecker was the last tour. Last year, I had 45 people over the course of 1 month. Well, we just went from 99 to 93 viewers. What happened there? Did the trolls leave? Anyway, so, so we're at 45 and a long way to go. Johan, listen to the entire presentation. Cool. I hope that you guys, I know you probably couldn't hear the questions being asked by people, so I did my best to relay the questions so that you could hear it. I'm the painter. Oh, okay. Sorry, Sandra. I'm confused. Very grateful the VAT increase has been averted. The poor and middle class cannot afford it. Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you for that, Wade. No good deed goes unpunished. Is Erica here? I didn't see Erica. Corey, welcome to you. Oh, there's Erica. Okay, the more you're attacked, the more you're telling the truth. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair statement here. But you guys, honestly, you have no idea, folks. You don't, and I don't share all the stuff because I don't want to bring people down. The threats, the attacks, they're relentless. And I don't know why. People just don't like the truth. And anyway, again, if I make a mistake, I'll admit it. If I've been misled, I'll tell people that. But anyway, so there you go. Listen to you. I think you're one of the most best informed people regarding politics and policies. You have my respect. Yeah, Miranda, I also don't just fly off the handle and do stories. I got to tell you that I have sources in South Africa that I've curated on my own, independent, as an independent journalist. And there have been several stories of the past few years that I have not run. I've simply not run the stories because, in my view, they were salacious or they were simply stories that would not have helped South Africa. And my goal here is to help South Africa. I want South Africans to succeed. I want this country to succeed. It's an amazing place with absolutely amazing people. Venda, Xhosa, Afrikaner, Zulu, Tswana, Sotho, Swazi, just an amazing country. And South Africa deserves to win. South Africa deserves to succeed. Unfortunately, it's not the case right now. Nico, welcome to you. She came around the corner with 245s. Limb injuries, what's going on? Harold Menges, thank you. You could listen to all the questions. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. You heard the questions quite well. Well, my phone is amazing. I was surprised. Anyway, well, I tried to synthesize them for you guys. The young gentleman in the front, I had a hard time with this question. I didn't really understand it for a while there. It took me a little bit to figure out what he was getting at. But the rest of them were pretty easy to sort out. So Look, I really want to thank Dr. Peter Hammond for his hospitality, for his inviting me there. I've given a public lecture there every time I come to South Africa, and it's something I really look forward to. The folks are really wonderful. These are people of faith, and I have nothing but respect for people of faith, whether they're Christians, Muslims, Jews, even Wiccans, you know, if that's your faith. But I have a special affinity for Christians, being a Christian myself, and being a Protestant, you know, going to the Reformation Society, that's pretty incredible as a Protestant. So one of the most effective and practical ways I can actively contribute to holding my government accountable beyond just voting. Well, relaxing positive energy, that's a very good question. One way is to join a civic group that puts pressure on the state. Another is to contact your representatives, but I don't think that's effective in South Africa because your representatives aren't really responsive to you. They're beholden to their political party that put them in the position because you didn't vote for that person. So you didn't select your counselor, you didn't select your member of parliament. That was done for you on behalf of you by a political party. And that's a system I have real issues with. But hey, it's South Africa's system. It's again, it's a sovereign state. I cannot emphasize this enough. I was asked that question tonight. You probably heard me say, you know, look, South Africa can do what it wants. It has a right to do what it wants. It's a sovereign state. But there are consequences to decisions, good and bad, you know. When you make a decision, you have to consider, weigh the pros and cons about what's going to happen. Whether you're an individual, whether you're going to get married, or get divorced, have children, not have children. You have to weigh the pros and cons. And the same thing when it comes to foreign policy. If I may ask you roughly how many people were at today's talk? Gosh, 25? Maybe 25 or 30. It's a small venue. Yeah, so yeah, the parties do what they can benefit from, says the wicked one. Carolus Putter, welcome to you. Ron posed a phone call with President Trump. That's what I heard, bite me. But I'm going to have to take a look at. Yeah, Dr. Peter Hammond is an absolute legend, Mark. You are correct, brother. He is a legend. He is a legend. Yes, a legend, Dr. Hammond. Yeah, I really, really respect him. He's a tremendous person. He's an evangelical, what's the word I'm looking for? Not evangelist, but he's prophesized and he's brought the gospel all over Africa. Pretty amazing guy. Yep, originally from Rhodesia. Amazing guy. So everyone I see in the same, who's this? Dunhausen. Looking forward to meeting your visitor. Well, thank you, Bite Me. That's very kind of you. I don't think I'll address you as Bite Me, though. I think people are lashing out at you for telling the truth because they have been so propagandist to believe the socialist ideals. It's incomprehensible to them that they may be wrong. Theodore John van der Vath deleted his message. I'm sorry, delete your message, man. Why'd you do that? I was trying to read it. I don't think you said anything bad. Anyway, I was just about to read that. Yeah, no, it happens. Anyway. It happens. What are you going to do? You know, so accident. Energy network, like-minded people become self-reliant. Insinuates. Okay. Here's one for you, Chris. Mögen haben wir schon wollen, nur trauen haben wir uns nicht dürfen. Carl Valentin. I don't know who Carl Valentin is. My favorite German phrase is, im Himmel gibt's kein Bier, drum trinken wir es hier. Which basically means in heaven there's no beer. That's why we drink it here. He's a great missionary. His video on when he met Mandela is eye-opening. It is. No, Erica, he did it himself. Donald Trump will be very proud of what you all had to say about him today. Well, I think what I said was very fair. You know, look, people are mischaracterized, you know. So Donald Trump is one of those people who's mischaracterized. People are very comfortable telling lies about Donald Trump for their own political purposes. And look, I've been very, very open about my views. I've voted for Trump 3 times. I probably wouldn't hang out with him. Although I'm becoming much more attuned and liking him now. I didn't used to like him, but I voted for him. But I kind of get him now. So, excuse me. Oh. So I kind of get him now. So I don't know. Maybe I'd like him. But there was a time that I clearly didn't like him, but I still voted for him. Favorite German phrase is 9. Matthew Dixon, what are you doing here? And why is your profile look different? Ach du lieber Augustine. Tomorrow I have the Imam scheduled, says Fungwan. Okay. Chantel, welcome to you. But there's a lot of wine in heaven. I bet you. Not a happy camper says good evening. There it is. Theodore John Funderbath. Chris, great to have you in South Africa. Please come back. By the way, South Africa is not a country, but registered as a company. Yeah, people keep saying that. Yeah, the fact that someone registered a company called South Africa doesn't mean the country of South Africa is on the exchange, but people keep saying that. Anyway, so yeah, no, he's not your classic conservative. You're correct. But Trump is governing. I said this before. After Trump's first term, I said Donald Trump is the single most conservative one-term president in the history of the Republic. No doubt about it. And now it looks like he's even more so. Nighthawk or Night Bat. What's that, Afri-Century? Garrett is having fun there. Sollen wir jetzt auf Deutsch reden? Also die ganze Strecke heute Abend. Wir haben schon nach Mitternacht, es ist 12:27 Uhr morgens früh hier in Südafrika und ich hoffe, dass alle bei uns in guter Laune sind und ich finde mich auch in guter Laune. Aber das war ein bisschen ärgerlich. Leute sagen solche wie sagt man denn das denn eigentlich? Es war ein bisschen unfair, was die gegen mir gesagt haben heute früh. Matthew changed his profile pic so no one can see he's a big softie. Do you have an opinion on Tulsi Gabbard? I'm not a fan of Tulsi Gabbard. I've been pretty open about that from the very beginning. I don't think she's qualified to be the Director of National Intelligence. I can pick a dozen people better qualified and better suited for the position. I understand why Trump wanted to give her a position, but I would not have given that position. I would have made her the United Nations ambassador. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence is someone responsible for coordinating the 19 federal intelligence agencies, most of whom are in the military, and she has limited experience as a leader. She's never led a team of more than 3 or 6, to my knowledge, and it doesn't mean she can't do it. I'm just saying that she doesn't have track records. Well, maybe she'll be the right person, but I wouldn't have picked her for that job. Yep. Hey, Maze. Learned a bit of German, but switched over to Dutch. Okay. Feels like many South Africans become anesthetized to government wrongdoing. It's as if normal. Yeah, no, it is. James Warren says, my daughter's writing a history test tomorrow about apartheid. My daughter came and told me she doesn't want to be white and Afrikaans anymore. She's 9. That's sick. That's just sick. Why doesn't she want to be white and Afrikaans? Because she's been indoctrinated with bullshit from the school. And that's really tragic to hear. You know, if Steve Biko can tell black South Africans to have black consciousness and not be ashamed of who you are based on your skin color, you have nothing to be ashamed of, why in the world are people indoctrinating white children to be ashamed of who they are? It's disgusting. It's cultural genocide. It needs to stop. It's morally wrong. It's morally wrong, Theodore. James. Excuse me, James. That's shocking. But I'm not surprised. Juju is listed director with the rest of the main mob. Really? William Wheeler says, see on the news that Ramaphosa and Trump are in conversation. Well, let's go take a look at Twitter and we'll go to Cyril Ramaphosa and see what he had to say. Cyril Ramaphosa, P-H-O-S-A. Cyril Ramaphosa. There you go, Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, did he put his personal? President Zelensky, favorable trade. What is this? Well, that's great, President Ramaphosa. If you want, here he goes. I had an opportunity to speak to President Trump yesterday to discuss the peace process in Ukraine. We both agreed the war should be brought to an end as soon as possible to prevent further death and destruction. President Trump and I also agreed to meet soon to address this and various matters regarding relations between South Africa and the United States. We both spoke about the need to foster good relations between the two countries. Well, that's brilliant. I have no reason. This 11 hours ago, he claimed it. So here's from his desk. And he's talking about trade and jobs and growth. Unfortunately, as long as broad-based black economic empowerment is the law of the land, you are not going to grow your economy. It's simply not going to happen. Not going to happen. What gray streak. I don't want blacks to watch to know the real history of how things got to where they are. If you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. Yes, that's true. Consequently, U.S. presidents are never without critics. People forget that a large majority of Americans oh, no, I don't forget. Lincoln was very unpopular. That's why the secession happened. So Lincoln was the first Republican president in the history of our republic. And the reason the Republican Party existed was for abolition, to end slavery. That's why the party was created. It was its sole purpose. And that's why it ran for the presidency and won. And Lincoln intended to end slavery. He didn't do it initially, but he put the basis in. It didn't end until after he was assassinated, but he put the end. It was December 6th of 1865, if I remember correctly, when the 13th Amendment was ratified, which ended chattel slavery in the United States constitutionally. One of the first countries in the world to do that. Not the first, but one of the first. Haiti was the first country, to my knowledge, to ever end slavery. Actually learning extra languages, trying to get better at the international company. All right, wicked one. Same role for 3 years already. Okay. Okay, Pat Newman saw the lecture. I thought it was excellent. Thank you for that. I tried to speak a little bit slower tonight and emphasize things more. I hope that came across. I want to make sure everybody had a chance to understand everything. So thanks for sharing that. I thought that it went very well from my perspective, so that's good. I heard from my older family members that that's the area my great-grandmother and her farm in. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, Linda, you should try a DNA search, see what comes up. I don't know how far back your ancestors came over. For me, the DNA helps with the states, but beyond that, it helps, but it's not going to help family specific because my ancestors came to America so early. My 17th great uncle arrived in Jamestown in 1621 as the first royal governor of the Jamestown colony, Virginia, Sir Francis Wyatt. He was my 17th great uncle. So his brother was the progenitor of most Wyatts in North America today, which is about 90,000 of us, about 75,000 white Wyatts and about 15,000 black or mixed race. How many Republican presidents and how many Democrats presidents? I have no idea, Pierre, so I've never kept track of that. Chantel says, thanks, Chris. You are the best. Well, thank you. It's very kind of you. That's very kind of you to say. And also at this hour, just after midnight, 119 people here. Thank you all so much for being here. Good morning, Colonel Burning the Night Oil. Yes, I am burning the night oil, but I was kind of in a mood because I was called malicious earlier, and I'm not malicious. And I was falsely accused of things I never did. It kind of irritated me, so I thought I'd pop on here and check on what's going on. So, hey, folks, if you're in the Mother City this weekend, don't forget tomorrow and Saturday, it's the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. On Saturday at DHL Greenpoint Stadium, it's our Stormers taking on Benetton. That should be interesting. So, there you go. Jamestown wants to understand the first successful English colony. Yes. Insanely long family history. Well, thank you very much, Fun One. It was, yeah. We had other efforts. Roanoke Island was the first one, and that failed. Unfortunately, and they never did get the results on what happened. Very odd story, the whole story of Virginia Dare, the first European born in North America, as an infant to a family there. But that whole situation was kind of weird. But it wasn't the first successful settlement. The first successful settlement was in 1519, if I remember correctly, and that was in St. Augustine in Florida. The Spanish built that. But it's the first English, that's correct. The fathers came from the USA, apparently. Really? Well, read this. Some folks left America and went to South Africa at some point. That's a true statement, interestingly enough. But my ancestry goes back, I can trace it back to the year 554, I think it is, in Sweden. And you might be saying, well, that's rubbish, Chris. How could you possibly go back that far? Well, they keep records in some places, and they kept records going back that far. DNA-wise, I can trace it back quite a ways, too. I read 23andMe sold people's personal info. That's true, Mark Smith. They sold personal info, and that was a problem. That's why I didn't join 23andMe early on. They got sued over that, and they put a stop to that, and they were forced to stop it, violating many different laws. So once 23andMe stopped doing that, then I took their test. But yeah, I've done the DNA test at 23andMe. The best one that I'd recommend is Ancestry.com. It's a very reasonable price. It's very effective. It's mitochondrial DNA. Right? Yeah. Is it mitochondria? Yeah, it's mitochondria. So do that one. Of course, that traces your mother's side. You are a squared away gentleman, sir. Well, thank you very much, Theodore. I appreciate that. Yes, America and South Africa have many similarities in their history, including our race relations history, which is not always good. And that's the truth. People shouldn't run from the truth. But you and I have nothing to be ashamed of. I had no role in that history of slavery. I had no role in the colonizing and settlement of North America. I'm just the descendant of people who did that. And the actions of those who came before me have no bearing on me whatsoever. They don't affect who I am. They don't determine who I am. I mean, if that were the case, then I want my crown, because my ancestors include Edward Longshanks, Harold Godwinson, William the Conqueror. I'm descended from all those people. My ancestors were royalty in Denmark, in Normandy, in England, in Scotland. So I want my crown. I want my title. I mean, that's ridiculous. I am who I am, and I'm a consequence of my upbringing, which was not ideal, but I did learn to treat people with respect and treat people fairly. Someone didn't think I did today, but anyway, yeah. And those people may have contributed to the DNA that gives me this really awesome head of hair and these devastatingly handsome good looks. But that's about it. I make my path in life, and you make your path in life, and you should treat others well. Simple as that. Sandra says Harold Godwinson was the last true English king. Yep. None of us here is responsible for what people. Yeah, utopias decide. Exactly. Exactly, Fung One. Agreed. Loretta says, I'm jealous of your amazing schedule for the weekend. Well, it's a pretty cool schedule. By the way, let's run through some meet and greets for folks, okay? Because I know people are curious about the meet and greets. Okay, so, excuse me. So we did the Ronda-Bus. That was tonight. Trump tariffs and refugees program. We did that tonight. Blauberg on Saturday. Zayn from the Breibrookies. She'll be with me on Saturday at the Kapstadt Brauhaus. Excuse me. And then in Howick, we got one on April 28th at the Woodstone Restaurant. Durban on the 30th. Port Elizabeth on the 1st of May. And there you have it. That's the one scheduled for now. We're looking at doing one in Bolito, but I've got no feedback from people. I'm going to need that soon. We'll see how that goes. Caroline, welcome to you. Sorry I missed that. Hello to you. And I missed some other people here too. Oh, that was from earlier, so I'm looking at the wrong place. Okay. People attacked you. No, it was during the day, Thomas Lombard. I received some nasty message from someone. It's unfortunate. Hey, Michael Storm. Leaky toilet. Yeah, that's never good. Yes, Garrett, the dominant DNA contribution to the people who are considered Afrikaners is German. That's correct. Then comes Dutch. Then French Huguenot. And then Khoi and San, usually. My family arrived Cape Good Hope, 1800. Willem Duckett, aren't we in contact about setting something up? I'm trying to remember. Tired. So we ever come? Yeah, I will come to Petersburg, Theodore. The problem is that this trip was prescribed by events on both ends. So I definitely plan to do that. Yes, Theodore, I will come to Limpopo. I will come to Petersburg. I'd like to come this time to take a look at where they've been, taking the land in Sasheho. But unfortunately, it's just a bridge too far. I'm too short on days. I will, Theodore. Absolutely. Look, I mean, one of the big aspects of these trips, and why I do this, it's not just a fact-finding trip. It's not just this trip of discovery. Also, some cool things like the zip lining was pretty cool. 146 kilometers per hour. It's not just that. The meet and greets are amazing. Meeting people, meeting South Africans on the street, talking to South Africans, whether they're Sotho or Tswana or Afrikaners. It's just really amazing. This is one of the most amazing countries on the planet. It absolutely is, hands down, an amazing country. Even with the crazy politics, it's still an amazing country. Even with the violent crime, it's still an amazing country. It would be truly over the top if South Africans didn't have to deal with the nonsense that comes from rampant crime and from failing infrastructure and, poor service delivery and bizarre politics. If it wasn't for that, I mean, you'd have maybe the best country in the world after America. So, I mean, look, I think anybody who comes to South Africa is very fortunate to have a chance to come here and meet some of the best people in the world, most fascinating people in the world. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. There's some real dickheads here too, some real jerks, some real hate wankers. But, because you spoke only truth, then favor truth, nothing more, nothing less. People overstate Simon's tales' importance. They do, but that's not what it was about. So, Simon Portier Duploy, born. Oh, look at that. Dirk's got his history. It's in North Holland. Okay. Please kindly, let's keep in touch. We'll get you squared away. Well, thank you for that, Theodore. That'd be great. Yeah. And Vanderbilt Park or Northcliffe Thundergun. Okay, Michael. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for confirmation from Rennell about Vanderbilt Park. You listen to World War II stories. I never had that chance. My grandfather fought in World War II. He landed at Normandy, not on D-Day, but a couple days after that, if I'm not mistaken, and then went across France and into Germany in the Second World War. That's my grandfather, Thomas Golden, the only one of my grandfathers that fought in the Second World War. My grandfather, my father's side, served in the Army from 1920 until 1926, so he couldn't serve World War II. He was too old. I've climbed roofs and fixed all manner of things, and perhaps I can be a girl handyman, says Mason. There are far too many weak, greedy, and corrupt so-called leaders in South Africa, anything positive. Well, Kurtz, I mean, that's not an unfair statement. Dirk, what is this? Yes, we are, Colonel. Still need a date from you. Okay. Thank you, Willem. I gotta look. I'm waiting to hear back from a couple people, but I've set my dates for Gauteng. That's set, but now when I'm available to do things because I've got appearances. So many expressions here, and you will be well received. Well, thank you for that, Theodore. Appreciate that. Seems as though I have a lot of Afrikaans blood in me after all. So Dutch, Flemish, French, Huguenot. Yep. You can all go to the USA very soon, says Retha. For now, the bed is calling. All right, have a good night. Mark Dahl. I'm also the Scandinavian scent hair, much like yours, devastatingly good looks too. Well, there you go, Mark. We devastating handsome silver foxes, we're a very important breed here. I remember the first trip to New York, got lost near Grand Central and asked the guy for directions. He looked at me and said, buy a fucking. Are you serious? It's just rude. That's just wrong. That's wrong. I never heard a story like that before. But Afri Senchi says, that's New York City for you. That's just so wrong. Oh, that's just mean, man. Oh, I got to tell you, I said that before. James Coburn in Payback with Mel Gibson, he shoots the alligator handbag, and he goes, it's just mean, man, just mean. I like the part where William Devane's on. He says, well, I guess you just, or was it William Devane or someone else? I guess you're just going to have to shoot me. Maybe it was James Coburn. He just shot him. Payback is a great movie, man. I love that movie with Mel Gibson. Oh, my goodness. What a great movie. Some movies just stick with you. That one, I love The Fifth Element. That movie is still so funny. Lilu Dallas. Multipass. Multipass. Yeah, they got it. Multipass. Oh my goodness. What a great movie that was. Yeah. Luc Besson was your director. Excuse me. Jewish boar bowl myself. Okay. Yes, Loretta, I will be doing Boat Revere, but that's down the road a little ways. Still happening. Yeah, Lethal Weapon. The Lethal Weapon is classic. The best Lethal Weapon was number 2, where they had the diplomatic community. Yeah. It was funny. They're riding around, the cops are chasing. What are they speaking? Is that Dutch? No, it was Afrikaans. Anyway. Just finished watching Yellowstone. Yeah, I gave up on Yellowstone. There's nobody worth rooting for. They're all evil bastards. So even the redhead, who's super hot. Oops. What? Oh, that's why I have my alarm set for 12:45 because I was on the radio last night. Too many crickets. By the way, I apologize to anybody who tried to tune into my streams last night. For some reason, that it wasn't set up properly. I don't know what the deal was. Anyway, couldn't get that thing to work. So we turn off this 12:45 alarm. That's a bit ridiculous here. I don't need that going forward. Anyway, but you're black. That was a great line too. Hey, my friend here wants, Leo, I'm Leo Getz. Whatever you want, Leo Getz. Yeah, you got it. When Leo Getz, hey, listen, my friend here wants to immigrate to South Africa, but he's shy. I mean, well, bring him in. Okay, here's my friend. But you're black. That's what I want to go to South Africa. You racist bastards. Miss Congeniality, that's another funny movie. Yep. Window fake crying scene. I do very good impressions. Had years to practice, says Lindy. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no. Lethal Weapon was great. Payback, but I love Payback. Such a great movie. Because all he wanted was his money back. And they're like, man, you're just stupid, man, for that money. Oh, what a great movie. What a great movie. Corey says we had a nice chat. Okay. Black Widow's Spinnacle, which hop. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going this morning? So, how are we doing here? What are we looking at? 110 people currently here. Please contact Trump on the flip phone and tell him to hurry up with the refugee program. I want to be in the U.S. for Christmas. If all my freckles merged, I'd be black, says Erica. Sicario was great. I never saw Sicario. Never watched that movie. Garrett never watched it. Jeremy just woke up. Okay, well, welcome for waking up there. All right. Yeah, so anyway, it was a pretty busy day, folks. Only 93 likes. There's 100 of you here now. Hit that like button. It was a pretty busy day, I have to tell you. The interview, by the way, I have to look that up. So let me see where he's at, if he published that yet. So I want YouTube. I don't want Google. Come here, YouTube. There we go. So Pumlani Majosi. There he is. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. There it is. Okay. What does America want from South Africa 4 hours ago? Is this with me? I think it might be. Let me see.
Spumlani Majosi, the author of Lessons from Poets Heroes. Please remember to get yourself a copy at a bookstore near you, or you can order on Amazon.co.za. I'm speaking to a great man here today on this episode, Colonel Chris Wyatt. He is a retired U.S. Army colonel.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. I'll give you the link to that if you want to check it out. I was on his channel earlier today. Really enjoyed it. Great guy. So, so check it out. I think his presence is mostly on Twitter. He's just getting started on YouTube, so a small number of subscribers, but interesting conversation. Leon Botha says, check out Professor G. He's giving a lot of misinformation. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with Professor G. He's talking about asylum, and because he's an asylum attorney, and that's fine. That's his prerogative. But he's confusing the situation, I believe. Chinese guy on YouTube who does Killer Donald Trump. No, I have not seen that. That's not seen that. Mel Gibson is better director than actor now. Passion of the Christ. Yeah, he does some great movies. Yep. Always used to say anyway a lot until a friend told me I sound like Biden. Now I say any which way. Stian Forster says, keep strong and F the haters. Yeah, cool, and save that for later on, folks. You can give him some views. He only has like 71 views on that from 4 hours ago. So, yep. Let's see. 71 views 4 hours ago. Yep. Let's see. Somebody says, Chris knows more about the goings-on in South Africa and wider Africa than people inside Africa. He's a massive fountain of knowledge. Well, thank you for that, Tony Poulter, which I've never seen on my channel. Yep. What else? Cool. So thanks for that. Anyway, you guys can check that out at your leisure, or leisure if you prefer. Interesting. My camera angle looks kind of like backwards here, but when I was at the stream earlier, but I think I set it up well so you guys could see me for that stream earlier. So anyway, what are we doing on subscribers? We were at 78,536 subscribers on the channel. It looks like we're not going to get to 80,000 during this trip. That's a little disappointing, but let's take a look at what's going on with the channel very quickly here at this hour. Yeah, wow. That's disappointing. Only had 74,000 views yesterday. That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right. Interesting. Really doesn't seem correct. Yeah, yesterday was a big drop off. Huh. What did I do yesterday? Anyway, yeah. And the new viewers, YouTube is not promoting my channel. I have not had more than 7,000 new viewers on a day since April 16th. Since I've been in South Africa, no one new is getting 4,000 per day, whereas I'm still getting 67, 80,000 viewers that are returning viewers. That's just crazy. Anyway, channel won't grow like that, and I won't be trimming my beard up. So that was what the deal was. Trim my beard up if we get to 100,000 while I'm in South Africa. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, folks. Ronell, going to see the folks tomorrow. Okay, good. All right, cool. Let me know about Vanderbilt Park, okay? Yes, I saw they had me on Biz News. I saw that. My interview with Dr. Corney Mulder. A lot of people really enjoyed that interview. How's that doing, by the way? Let's take a look at that. Corney Mulder. So... what the heck's that? That's the one, yeah. It's got 56,000 views. Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on that. So, afternoon from the States. Love your work. Your last stop, Stanford, South Africa. No, not my last stop, Jacob, but it's one of my stops. Colonel Wyatt, you were very well informed. Man, you should be liaison officer between USA and South Africa. Tell President Trump you have our vote. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Rough day today. Going to bed now. All right, Johan, you have a good night. Okay. All right. So where are we at here in this conversation? We're approaching an hour here. Yep. All right, folks. Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. It's probably time for me to hit the rack as well. So I'm gonna knock it off here because I have to finish editing the videos to congratulate the DA for its job. Anyway, you're very welcome, Pat Newman. Thank you all for being here, and have a lovely evening. And we're gonna wrap it up here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Lots on tap for tomorrow again, and the whole weekend, lots on tap, so including some travel. What I'm going to tell you, one thing I'm going to miss when I leave Western Cape is the rental vehicle I've had. Oh my goodness, this Mitsubishi is so impressive. I'm really thrilled with this vehicle. I'll consider buying one now. Give you some later brainstorming ideas on how to increase your subs viewership. South Africa is such a fascinating country. Well, thank you for that, Michael. Everyone has ideas and they never work. So maybe you'll be the one person that has ideas on how they work. I've tried everything under the sun and had a lot of success, but it depends on whether, you're being harassed or not. So anyway, all right, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Have a lovely night and take care of yourselves. All right. And we'll see you here later today. It's not tomorrow, it's later today. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. No closing credits, just my rugby background. Good night, everybody. God bless. Be safe out there. And look for my new video. It's coming out in a few minutes as soon as I finish editing it.